So there's one more thing I forgot to point out. Since we used non-standard IAX ports, you notice the one on 1001 is 4591. So I wanted to show you something. Let's go into that node. And let's go to networking. And let's go into the firewall. So edit rules and zones. And you'll notice down here for IAX2 connections, they've allotted the range from 4560 to 4580. I went outside that range with 4591. So we've got to open the firewall for it. So I'm going to add a service, let that populate, hit custom ports, type in 4591. I can't remember if it's TCP or UDP, but I usually just do both. It gives it a custom ID name, and I'll call it node 1001 IAX, so I'll know what's going on. Hit add ports, and you'll see it added down here at the bottom. So it kind of opens up 4591 since it's outside of this range. And this is only for ASL3. You don't have to worry about this on ham VoIP, but ASL3 is more secure. Firewall really helps you out when you think it might be a hindrance, but it helps you out. So with that said, let's go ahead and attempt our connections, shall we? Be right back. Okay, as you can see, I've got my DV Switch mobile app open. And I chose this account here. You choose it whichever one you want. I've got a bunch in here, but here's the settings that I chose. This is the local IP address of node 1000 on my local network, .210. Its port, if you remember, is 4566. The username I chose is KD5FMU. And of course, the password was capital P ASSWORD 2024. And the caller ID I put in was KD5FMU. There's no caller number, and the node number was 1000. And the phone mode is IAX2, just like you would with any other connection that I've done before. Yeah, by default, this transmit level is set way high. I like to pull that sucker right around in there somewhere because it's just too overbearing with the microphone on this phone. And I leave codec devices at server selected and I hit save. Now, if I go back to the front screen and 1000 is highlighted there, well, let's just make it go right now. Save it, go back. 1000 is highlighted there because it has registered. It's like, okay, I see the other end on the network and I'm ready to connect to it. So connect.
Connected to node 1000.
And it connected. KD5FMU. And you can see on the screen that the nodes are connected and they're talking to each other. And there's even a CWID, which you could turn off if you wanted to. So what about the other end? Well, I just happen to have one more Android device, and I can go into the DV Switch mobile app for it. This is the Enrico T310, I believe it is. And then there is that node. Its IP address locally is 1.209. Its port is 4591. Change the username for that one to AA5PD. And the password is the same, capital P ASSWORD 2024. I put AA5PD in as the caller ID. Caller number is optional, so I put node number 1001. And these are the defaults: phone mode, AIX2 connection, and I better turn that transmit level down a little bit. Leave the codec types as server selected, hit save, hit the back button, and you can see 1001 is highlighted, and I can hit connect.
Connected to node 1001.
And you get the little deal at the bottom, tells you status and who you're connected to. I love that little feature. And I can PTT on it as well. So let me get the other one ready. KD5FMU. KD5FMU. And it works. There is one small caveat that I'll show you in the video, so let's just jump to it now and reiterate. When I originally attempted my connection on my DV Switch mobile device, my Sonum Android phone, I kept getting an error. It said invalid node number, and it set me to thinking, I chose 4-digit node numbers. Most node numbers out there are 5 digits. So I took a look inside of this file. Sudo nano etc asterisk extensions.conf, and down here where we changed this IAX KD5FMU, there was originally 5 X's here. So I took those X's to mean variables for node numbers. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm pretty sure that I am, because there was 5 of them there, and I thought, well, I'm using a 4-digit node number. So I took one of the X's out, hit Control X, yes to save, enter to exit, restarted the asterisk server, and it connected. So keep that in mind. Now, since these are not going through All-Star's registry, you could probably choose bigger node numbers. I would stay away myself. I would stay away from anything over the number from 2000 and up, because those are All-Star node numbers. I don't know that they can cross-confuse, but I think it's just safer. You get 1,999 nodes that you could use. I doubt your private network would be that big. So, nonetheless, change those digits in the extensions.conf file. Also remember to do your port forwarding in your router. So, one of these is 4566, the other one's 4591. Make sure your router points it to the correct node. So, what if the node you want to connect to is somewhere else? Well, I tell you what, it's just that easy. In your phone device, well, let's just go over there and take a look. Okay, so in your device, in DV Switch, you see I have this here, and I use the local IP address. And I've already forwarded this port in my router for incoming connections, inquiring on that port to route it to this IP address. So just like I had done in other videos, let's say I wanted to connect to James wherever he's at. I'm just going to put his outside IP address here. So you see this 47.217.206.196, that's my outside IP address. So I know whenever I'm outside of my own network, I can connect on that one to get to whichever node it is. But nonetheless, if you're outside your network, use that outside IP address, and say if I'm connecting to him, I would use his outside IP address here with the correct port number if I wanted to connect into him. But I most normally won't be. I'll be connecting to my node. Once I do,
Connected to node 1000.
as you can see on the screen, my connection has come up, my IAX connection has come up on my node, and now I can control my node by DTMF. So I see that I am connected to 1000, or my node 1001 is connected to, my node 1000 is connected up to 1001. So what if I wanted to disconnect him? *1 1001 send.
Node 1001 disconnected.
So if I wanted to reconnect back to that node, *3 1001 send.
Node 1001 connected to node 1000.
And it's just that easy. And if I'm done playing and want to disconnect it altogether, I just hang up. And I'm done. Well, that was pretty cool. It works. It's really neat. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all about the social aspect of All-Star. That's why I got into All-Star. I love being able to connect here and there and talking to different groups, different folks all over the world. But occasionally you got a secret circle of people you want to talk to legally. It's all good. These are direct connections using voice over IP between you and them. Cool stuff. And you could go one step further if you wanted to and connect a radio to that node so that you could talk over a walkie or a mobile radio straight to your node, and it would talk to the other people. Now, with that said, the frequencies that you use are uber important, because if you use ham radio frequencies, you've got to be ham radio licensed. If you're going to use GMRS frequencies, according to the interpretations that are out there, it's not exactly legal. It's still up for interpretation, but nobody wants a $5,000 daily fine either. If you use public safety frequencies, you better be a representative of that public safety agency and using these frequencies within the bounds of the law. And I don't know of any other frequencies that you can do this with via RF and it still be legal. So you do that research on your own, know your limitations, know the law, don't break it. I live by these words. So with that said, take this information and do with it what you will. Just make sure you do it legally and have fun, for goodness sakes. Well, go forth and have some fun with it, y'all. This is Freddie Mac, your ham radio crusader, saying 73 is wishing all the good signals to be yours, and ham on, y'all.